hope things are going well. I wanted to ask you, how is it like working in some of these drills? You and Hudson are literally side by side, mirroring each other practically. How is that for your individual psyche, that you apparently are trying to match someone? And bigger picture, how do you think this competition is sized up so far, one weekend?
I'm sure it looks like synchronized swimmers to y'all, but I don't know. I just try to focus on my rep. That, doing drills with the running backs and throwing routes on air, kind of simulating some of the game looks and practice is something that I've always done as a quarterback, and that's kind of traditional. So it's pretty normal. I've been doing that. Hudson and I have been doing that for the last 2 years. And so I really don't even think about it like that, but I'm sure it kind of looks pretty cool to watch, us kind of move in unison, from outside looking in. But the quarterback battle is going great. Today, I think, was practice 5, and I'm still excited. I still have the same passion as if it was day one. I feel really good about it. I feel good about my performance and my execution. I feel good about the offense. I feel good about the team and the preparation. So I think it's a healthy competition, and I'm excited to see what happens. We have 2 scrimmages coming up in fall camp, and we'll see September 4th. That's really all I can say about it.
Dennis, go ahead.
Casey, I know Coach Sarks says you guys are making it tough on him, which he thought would be the case. What do you think you are doing absolutely right? What's, I guess, setting you apart? And what are the things that you still feel like personally you need to clean up?
Well, fortunately, the good thing for us is they tell us what we're doing good every day. Pre-practice, during practice, post-practice, in the meeting room. They give us reminders. And so the feedback that I've been receiving has been positive. I feel like I'm doing a really good job being disciplined with my eyes, seeing the field, doing a good job of making practice feel like it's a game scenario. So playing through the play, extending some plays when they break down. What I feel like I can do a little bit better, just not getting comfortable, like Brian talked about in the drills, and during the course of the practice, just always keeping that same energy and that same optimism to push the team. Towards the end of practice, I think that I'm doing a really good job of being a leader and pushing the offensive line and pushing the guys, and making sure that we finish and we strain and doing everything that Coach Sark talks about.
Joe Cook, go ahead.
Casey, I'll ask this of Hudson when it's his turn, but what do you see that he does really well when you're watching him take reps?
Hud does a good job of kind of finding his arm angles and arm slots. I don't know if he played baseball or not, but he does a really good job of that, similar to like Shane Buechele. He does a good job of finding good arm angles and things like that. But like I said, the coaches give us feedback literally every day, like all throughout practice, all throughout meetings and walkthroughs of what we do good and what we could work on. I'll kind of let Hud speak on what he feels like he's doing well. And obviously there's some things that he has to clean up as well, but he does a good job of just finding good arm slots and spinning the football, whether he has the laces, no laces. He does a good job at that. So that's what I really think he's doing well right now, is just finding good arm angles to throw the football and getting it out.
Kirk, go ahead.
Yeah, Casey, I was curious how Sark and the staff weigh positives and negatives. The great positive you had with the second half in the Alamo Bowl, and just your 3 years on campus here and being around it, as opposed to say one mistake, a pick 6 in spring game. Yeah. How much stock does he put in those two?
Sark, he always coaches hard, and Coach Milby coaches hard. They're going to coach hard. They coach everyone to chase perfection, knowing that we may never get there. So the coach is hard, but Sark always tells me playing quarterback is like being a NASCAR driver. You have to find the threshold of how fast or how slow you can go and turn that corner. If you don't try it in practice, you'll never know for the game. So when you do make a mistake, just put it to the side, have a next play mentality, and learn from it. Today, like he says, every play and every rep is different. Each play is its individual opportunity. So you can't live on the last play or think about the future play. That that play actually in the spring game, we had a post with the wheel route. It wasn't an out route. So it was a wheel route versus soft zone coverage. Deshaun Jameson will tell you himself, we hit that literally 100% of the time in spring. And he always would take the post and I would just throw it back shoulder. And so if you watch that play from the spring game, you'll see Jay Witt is like reaching for the ball. And as he was reaching, Deshaun Jameson kind of jumped on it. And so what I took from that, obviously it ate at me. Me being the competitor that I am, I remember telling you guys, it took me about a month to get over the 2 incompletions from the bowl game, but I'm human. I'll get over it eventually. So it took me a few weeks to get over that pick 6, but at the same time, we have enough reps in practice, and we had that same play today, and I ended up throwing the wheel out for a touchdown. So like Coach Sark always says, each play is its own individual play. You can't live in the past or worry about the future. Just focus on each rep. And so I know another opportunity is going to come on that wheel route, and I'll make the best of it. And if it's not there, now I know I can learn to find my check down and throw it, to the running back when I need to, which I also did plenty of times in the spring game. That's just one more time that I could have thrown my check down and it would have saved me, a lot of trouble. So.
Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, Casey, you've waited a long time for this moment to have this opportunity. I'm curious, how do you not put that pressure on yourself? What's your process to not worry about those outside things and just go sling the ball when you get into practice?
Like I said, I feel like that I'm doing a good job of preparing every day. Like it's a game. I did that last year. I've done that my whole time here on campus. And like I said, it's interesting, but I think that we'll all see September 4th. The fans, the team, the players, the coaches, we'll all see the work that's been put in come September 4th. And I'm excited. I'm ready. Me personally, like I told you guys before, I didn't feel any pressure going into the bowl game because, like I said, I literally take a lot of reps at practice. And so I've been ready to go into the game. And so same thing now. This year with the spring game, I didn't have any nervousness. And every day for practice, I don't get nervous. This coming year, going into the season, I may, on certain opportunities or, maybe certain opponents, but I don't really feel like nervousness is a part of my DNA. I do a pretty good job of being calm and being poised and attacking every moment.
Anwar, go ahead.
Hey, Casey, want to ask you about your receivers. Who are the guys that make your life easier? Who are the guys that you love throwing to and the guys that, have caught your eye, especially this offseason?
The receivers, I think that they've done a great job from the offseason to now of doing the extra work, like doing the extra routes on air, doing the extra film study. And they've all done a good job. But guys that, stand out to me during the offseason and also in fall camp, Joshua Moore is doing a great job. Jordan Whittington, Xavier Worthy, Moochie, Calvonte Dixon, he's doing a good job. Marcus Washington's doing great. Like I said, they're all doing great. And we're going to need all of them. We're going to need to rotate. We're going to have guys step up. Jaden Alexis has done a good job when his number is called, filling in the slot position and being able to take reps when he's called upon. But Xavier Worthy is doing a really good job. I'm sure you guys have heard that by now. He's very smooth and he's really good at getting in and out of his cuts. And he has a really good football IQ. So he's doing a really good job. And the receivers, like I said, they've done a good job of buying in. Hudson and I have had route sessions with the receivers. That wasn't mandatory, the stuff that we called on our own and off the record. I guess this will be on the record, but I've held a lot of position meetings, just watching film and going over the installs and the playbook with the receivers in the afternoons and just working with some of those guys, the freshmen and the receiver corps. They've done a good job of coming in when I asked them to and watching film in the afternoons during the summertime.
Chip, go ahead.
Casey, if you had to make the case for yourself to be the starter, what would you say? And how much do you think the scrimmages the next 2 Saturdays will weigh into the decision?
I think it's all a part of the process. And during the process, you know that there's going to be positives, there's going to be negatives, there's going to be ups and downs. But like I said, I feel like I do a good job of being a leader, preparing, being accurate and consistent. I think consistency over time is probably the most important thing at this position. And so, like you guys asked, one mistake here and there or one really good play here and there is not going to make or break the outcome of the competition, the outcome of the game, the outcome of the season. It's going to be consistency over time. And so I think that probably would be my main focus right now, is just trying to be consistent over time, day by day. And like I keep telling you guys, we'll see September 4th. So there's not much any of us can do other than Hudson and I and the rest of the team. It's on us to get prepared, and it's on us to compete and make every day count. Anything else and everyone else, we just have to wait and see, because it's out of our control. At the end of the day, Steve Sarkisian is the head man, and he's going to make the decision.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Casey, obviously you spent the last 3 years, waiting behind Sam, kind of doing the, Aaron Rodgers waiting behind Brett Favre sort of deal. I'm curious, when you're not able to play in regular season games that much, obviously you had some limited activity, but how do you gauge your progress and improvement when you're not seeing game film, against teams in regular season action? And over those last 3 years where you've been on the bench mostly, how have you progressed?
That's a great question. So I think as a quarterback and as a football player, anyone who hears this should know that there are multiple things that you can do to make yourself a better player. You can eat, you can sleep, you can hydrate, right? You can do all the things from a preparation standpoint. But as far as film study in particular, there's multiple ways to watch film. So number one, you can watch film on the opponent. That's called opponent scout. So that's the one thing that I do to get better every offseason and in season. Number two, learning the playbook. So there's install. Number three, there's team. You can watch the team. And then number four, there's self-scout. So I do those four things. I kind of break it up in those four. And I self-scout. So every offseason, specifically, I watch my progress all the way back to my freshman year of high school. I watch my progress and, my footwork, my ball placement, my accuracy, my arm strength, and my eyes, kind of how they progress from freshman year of high school all the way till senior year. And then I go my first year in college, I watched, practice film and game film. Then I go second year, leading all the way up to the present day. So that's a really good question. But to answer that, I would say self-scout. I try to watch as many things as possible of myself from the past on film, whether that's practice reps, game reps, or even just going to the park or going to the field back home during quarantine when I was throwing routes to my friends. I try to watch different things and just study my craft and my skill set.
Got time for three last ones. Cedric, go ahead.
Hey, Casey, Derek Kerstetter is the OG up front, and you guys watched him get carted off the field in Manhattan last year. What was the mood like when he came back from the hospital and you guys sung Texas Fight to him in the locker room? And to have him back, how big is that for you guys?
Derek is doing a great job. And so just seeing that moment, on the field obviously was devastating. It was a tragic moment for the team. But seeing his spirit and his family and his mom after the game was very uplifting, the way that he just stayed positive and stayed courageous. And he kept telling us, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be fine. And I think that was a really key point for the offensive line of, they had to realize that it's next man up mentality. And Jake Major stepped in and he did a really good job in that game and also in the bowl game. It forced him to step up. And then throughout the offseason, Derek has done a really good job of attacking his rehab like a professional. And then having him back now is just very comforting and uplifting. I know Sark praises his leadership capability, so he's doing a really good job being a leader on and off the field, just being that voice and that presence. And that's something that makes me feel good at practice because I've been around him for the last 3 or 4 years. And so it's really good to see him out there.
Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, I wanted to ask about Bijan Robinson. Obviously, a lot of hype heading into the year. What impresses you the most about him, both as a player and then also as a person and a teammate?
Sorry about that. One more time.
What impresses you the most about Bijan Robinson, both as a person and teammate, and then also as a player?
Bijan, he's an incredible human being all the way around. He's well-rounded. So he's a phenomenal athlete. He's a great person. He's very optimistic. He's very positive. He's uplifting. He's very selfless. He does a good job of encouraging everyone around him. He has this positive aura about him that just makes you want to be around him. Bijan personally is one of my best friends. And so trying to take our relationship out of it. But if you ask anyone on the team and that knows him, everyone knows he's a great athlete. He's also a great man and a great person. He's very spiritual and he's very wired into doing things right and just being a positive role model for everyone around him and kids looking up to him.
Last one, Chris Tavares, go ahead.
Hey, Casey, as a quarterback, I think when everybody heard about all this name, image, likeness legislation passing through, the focus is on the quarterback at any school team. So you've got one of the biggest platforms. How are you trying to take advantage of that? How is Texas trying to help you take advantage of it? Because we see all these programs that UT's been setting up, but what have you seen that's allowed you to kind of put yourself out there, if you will?
So obviously when name, image, and likeness, NCAA passed the rule that all colleges could enforce their own rules per state law July 1st. That has changed the game for everyone. It's a new era, I like to say, and it's a new opportunity for us to, profit and make money. But at the same time, it's also an opportunity that Bijan and I always talk about. It's ways for us to have a positive impact on the community and also to give back. I think the biggest thing is, we can make money and, we can do a lot of nice things as the quarterback of the team. And, most of the players across the country, they're getting, little deals here and there. But obviously you're going to see that the main players on every team are going to get the bulk of the deals and the majority. But I just think it's an incredible opportunity for everyone to be able to profit off their own name, image, and likeness. For me personally, it's something that I've taken advantage of, something that I try to do. We talk about passive money. It's something that I try to have something for me to work passively and have mailbox money. And also I think it's a way for me to give back to the community. So I've really taken advantage of, being able to give back to charity. It's an organization called NoKidHungry.org. And there's another one called Feeding America that Scarlett Johansson promotes that I saw in commercials. So that's something that I would like to give back to as well. But for guys like me and Bijan, we're doing good, and Deshaun Jameson, and obviously I don't want to give out specific numbers, but it's something that I think is also can be a negative just as much as a positive, and so it can be a distraction. And I think that the main goal is winning a championship and focusing on the Big 12 this year. And I think everything else has to take a back seat for now. So I think the football is always the main goal and the main focus. And I think that's the way it still is for me personally.
Thanks, Casey. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you.
I'm going to ask Casey this, so I'll ask you this. What's something that you've seen that he's done really well throughout camp?
I would say taking the classroom to the field. At the end of the day, we're competing against one another, but it makes us better as players and as competitors. So we're just trying to push each other each and every day, and just go day by day, ultimately.
Brian, go ahead.
Hudson, Casey, he's been on campus longer. I mean, you can't do anything about that. But what do you have to find yourself not overextending or trying to go beyond in ways to impress coaches, kind of stay within yourself and stay within the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, I don't want to go out there and do things that I'm not coached just to show an ability. I just try to do what they tell me, do what I'm coached to do, and just take it day by day and just be myself and just play within the system, and things will take care of itself.
Dennis, go ahead.
Hey, Hudson, as far as your self analysis, what do you think you've been really doing right, and what's maybe something that you still have to clean up a little bit?
I mean, I think it goes both ways. Each day there's always something new that you can learn from and grow from. And I think that's what I'm focused on right now. In the film room, just learning from my mistakes and just trying to grow each and every day, and just get the system down, get the right terminology down within me and the coaches, and just try to improve every day.
Chip, you're up.
Hudson, make the case for yourself to be the starter. If someone asked you, why should you be the guy, what would you say? And how much do you think the scrimmages the next two Saturdays will play a determining factor?
Mhm. I mean, I would say I'm just trying to grow each and every day. I'm not trying to do anything out of the ordinary. I'm just trying to play my game, go out there, have fun with it. At the end of the day, it's just a game, so just go out there and do the best that I can do, and play really hard for my teammates. And at the end of the day, it's not my decision, so just control what I can control and have fun with it.
Anwar, go ahead.
Hey, Hudson, you've been described as a kind of a quiet kind of a leader, with Casey being a little bit more vocal. Tell me in what ways you find yourself leading the team if you're not as much of a vocal person.
Just lead by example. I mean, that's something I can improve on too, being more vocal, and I've been working on that, and I've been trying to improve and just ultimately get the teammates' respect. At the end of the day, it comes down to that, and just do the right things, do the extra work, be there on time, and just lead by example.
Bob, go ahead.
Hudson, you've mentioned a couple times that you're just trying to do what they ask you to do and that kind of stuff, but don't you need to be extraordinary to be the quarterback at Texas? Don't you need to be extraordinary to win this job?
I mean, I would say just do what they tell me to do, and there will be plays and certain opportunities where things will come out where I have to showcase certain things. I try not to make anything up. If it's within the system, and opportunities there, just play within the system. But certain times can happen to where I have to make plays, and ultimately I'm just gonna be patient with that.
Sam, go ahead.
Hey, Hudson, when you say you play your game and focus on what you're best at, where are you most comfortable? Is it in a clean pocket? Is it when things break down, you're on the run? Where do you feel most comfortable back there?
I feel like a little bit of both. I don't mind getting out of the pocket and throwing on the run. But obviously, at the end of the day, if you have a clean pocket, it's pretty nice to play in. So, but I feel like I can do a little bit of both, and I think each play will present a new opportunity to showcase both of them.
Cedric, go ahead.
Hey, Hudson, observation is very important at your position and learning. What did you guys learn from watching Sam Ehlinger this past year?
Yeah, we learned a whole lot. Sam's a great dude. He prepares super well. That's one thing I took from him. The way he prepared in season and out of season, the way he took care of his body, doing all the extra stuff. So I think that's one thing I really took from him, just how he controlled himself on and off the field. Those are the things that I really took from him.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, Hudson, obviously you're focused with, winning the quarterback battle and all the on the field stuff, but, obviously the quarterback of Texas is also the mouthpiece of the team. You're up there for the good and the bad. I'm curious because obviously that was Sam's job for the last 4 years. So I'm curious if you talked to him about sort of handle that pressure and just how to approach, being the mouthpiece of Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for me, it's having faith and having a relationship with God. That's always something that has helped me a whole lot. And just never get too high, never get too low. Stay balanced. Because I mean, there'll be positives and negatives, and just having faith and knowing that everything happens for a reason, and just trusting in God.
Got time for a few last ones. Kirk, go ahead.
Hudson, has Sarks said anything about maybe playing both of you in September and kind of letting, the best person win the job that way? And what's the one quality you feel like Sarks stresses for quarterback?
I would say one quality is just to be a relentless competitor, bring people along with you within the team. And I'm honestly not sure about the other question. That's something that Sark knows the answer to that. So I'm just focusing on today and going day by day, and the rest will take care of itself.
Michael, go ahead.
Hi, Hudson. Wanted to ask you about Bijan Robinson. What impresses you most about his skill set, and have you seen him make any tangible improvements from the end of last season to now?
Yeah, I mean, great. Bijan's a great player. He's really special on and off the field. He's probably even a better person than he is player. So, but he's continuing to improve. He's doing a great job. Just you can feel his presence out there. And he's a great player, and I know he'll do big things on Saturdays.
Two last ones. Terry, you're up.
Hudson, good afternoon. I hope you had a great practice. A couple days ago, we asked Coach Sarkisian if he saw a noticeable improvement over preseason in what you and Casey have worked on. And he said one specific thing is he's noticed your game has slowed down. Can you elaborate on that and share with us how has it slowed down for you, and what are you seeing now that maybe last year you didn't?
Well, I think just with time, especially within the new system, at first a lot of it's new and different. So really diving into the new system and watching extra film, and that honestly really helps. It makes the game slow down, and just like I said, more experience. So I would say those two, more experience, and then just understanding the system more, going in more depth within that.
Last one. Cole, go ahead.
Hudson, Casey was kind of talking about the wide receivers, and during the offseason, you kind of had your own rapport with them and you were able to go have some camps with them. Is there anybody that's really stuck out significantly in camp the last few days, or has it been a really good consensus group from everyone?
I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to need everyone. I mean, with injuries, you never know what can happen. And then, I think we have a great group of receivers, and we're going to need every one of them. They're all doing a great job, and they're understanding the system more. There's not, for the receivers, there's not one certain position they need to know. They need to know the play conceptually because they can interchange. So I think film study really helped them from spring till now. And we're going to need all of them, and they're all doing a great job.
Thanks, Hudson. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.